सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Shri PITAMBARA Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji,
all glories to Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for being here today.
Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. So, we're so happy to have you here today. And there are lots of us on this platform that do not know you. So if you'll be kind enough to give us a very brief introduction about yourself, we'll really appreciate.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
My name is Pitambara Das, and I am a disciple of Srila Subhag Swami Maharaj, and I came in touch with ISKCON in 2003 in Kurukshetra, that is near my hometown, and 2008 I joined full time, and since then I am trying to do some humble services for the pleasure of Sri Guru and Gauranga. So my Guru Maharaj has given me some services, specific services in field of translating books from English to Hindi and from Sanskrit to Hindi. And I'm trying to do this, and I'm publishing also some books, and recently we have published some children activity books in English. So, and also I'm getting some opportunities in Mayapur Institute for Bhakti Vaibhav course, and in VIC, Vrindavan also, some seminars. So I'm very much grateful to all the Vaishnavas to give me opportunity to serve so that I can become purified. So I thank all devotees here also.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are very grateful and very appreciative of having your association today. So I guess this is your first time being on this platform. What we usually do is, like you just saw, we play Sri Prabhupada's bhajan, and then we play is Jaya Radha Madhava, and then we put the verse on the screen, and then you discuss it just as you would do if you were in the live temple room. Now, when you chant the slokas, we may not be responding because when we respond, it creates lots of echo. So you will be reciting, and if you like, you would go for the synonyms, the word-for-word transliterations, and then you go to translation, you read the paper, and then you discuss. After that, we ask questions, and you help us with whatever questions we may have. So that is how we go here. So thank you so much for being here today. And without further ado, I'm going to put the verse on the screen and then we may start. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji, may I ask that what will be the timing till we can continue?
Very good. We usually go for about 1 hour that the speaker speaks. And then after 1 hour, devotees may ask questions or maybe give some comments or contributions or what have you. But it's up to the speaker. The speaker can speak less than 1 hour or more than 1 hour, whichever way you are inspired.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, Hare
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I welcome all the devotees for today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. And we can start today's session by seeking blessings of Sri Guru and Vaishnavas by reciting Mangalacharan prayers. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishamhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale, Prabhupadanugami Shri Subhal Swamini Sada, Danya Shili Subhagyaya, Sarva Jiva Kripabde, Guru Shiksha Sadachar Palkaya Namostute. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaurvani Pacharine Nirvisheshunavadi Paschatya Deshta. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing Shloka 1.13.26 from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. So this chapter is Dhritarashtra quits home. It's a very important chapter, and all the purports given by Srila Prabhupada are also very thought-provoking. And this shloka is also very important. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Gata Swarthamimam Deham Virakto mukta bandhana avigyat gatirjayat savai dhira udaritaha. So this shlokas word-to-word meaning is Gata Swartham means without being properly utilized. Imam means this. Deham means material body. Viraktaha, indifferently. Mukta, being freed. Bandhanaha, from all obligations. Avigyat gati, unknown destination. Jayat, one should give up this body. Saha, such a person. Vai, certainly. Dhiraha, undisturbed. Udaharitaha, is said to be so. Translation, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada is he who has Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, we can hear you.
Prabhu, the translation given in this place and in my Veda base is little different.
Oh,
Although
okay.
the meaning seems to be same. Okay. He is called undisturbed, who goes to an unknown remote place and freed from all obligations, quits his material body when it has become useless. So translation given in the Veda base is he who has not properly utilized his material body is called undisturbed if he goes to an unknown place and freed from all obligations, indifferently quits his body.
Okay.
So I have to check what is given in SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM book.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
very interesting to note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So purport by Srila Prabhupada, Narottam Das Thakur, a great devotee and acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava sect, has sung, "My Lord, I have simply wasted my life. Having obtained the human body, I have neglected to worship your lotus feet, your lordship, and therefore I have willingly drunk poison." In other words, the human body is especially meant for cultivating knowledge of devotional service to the Lord, without which life becomes full of anxieties and miserable conditions. Therefore, one who has spoiled his life without such cultural activities is advised to leave home without informing his friends and relatives, and being thus freed from all obligations of family, society, country, etc., give up the body at some unknown destination, so that others may not know where and how he has met his death. Dhir means one who is not disturbed even when there is severe provocation. Usually, a man cannot give up a comfortable family life due to his affectionate relation with wife and children. Self-realization is obstructed by such undue affection for family, and if anyone is at all able to forget such a relation, he is called undisturbed or dheer. This is, however, the path of renunciation based on a frustrated life, but stabilization of such renunciation is possible only by association with bona fide saints and self-realized souls, by which one can be engaged in the loving devotional service of the Lord. Sincere surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, transcendental sense of service. This is made possible by association with pure devotees of the Lord. Dhritarashtra was lucky enough to have a brother whose very association was a source of liberation for his frustrated life. So, this is very nice purport, and Srila Prabhupada has given many important points in this. So, first of all, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning one song of Srila Narottam Das Thakur. So, may I ask the devotees from this translation of the song, which is this song? And I have a favorite song of Srila Prabhupada. Can someone guess? What is the Bengali version of this song? My Lord, I have simply wasted my life. Having obtained the human body, I have neglected to worship your Lordship. Therefore, I have willingly drunk poison. Can someone guess? Quick question.
I had heard it before, but I don't remember. That Srila Prabhupada said that is his favorite song. I heard it from Mahatma Das Prabhu, but I can't think of it at the moment.
Any other devotee can guess? Okay. So, time up. So, so this is the song Hari Hari Vifale Janama Gavainu.
Hari Hari Vifale.
Yeah. Hari Hari Vifale Janama Gavainu. Manushya Janama Padiya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Suniya Vishakhainu. This is the song by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. So he's saying that Hari Hari, oh Lord Hari, Vifale Janama Gavainu. I have wasted my life. Manushya Janam Paiya, having obtained the human form of life, Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya. I didn't worship the lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna. So Janiya Suniya Vishakhainu. Knowing song. This is very important song. So all these Vaishnava songs are very important, very philosophical. And also, Prabhupada says that the songs of Srila Narottam Das Thakur are full of our Vaishnava philosophy. If we read Srila Narottam Das Thakur's song, then we can understand Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy in total. So this is a very important point. And all other our Acharya songs.
Prabhuji, you are muted. If you may unmute, please. Okay.
Hare Krishna. So all the songs of our Vaishnava Acharyas are very powerful, very thought-provoking. So we should read those songs. We should try to understand and discuss the meanings of those bhajans. That will be very helpful for us to develop Krishna consciousness. So here in this song, Sri Narottam Das Thakur says that I have wasted my time without worshipping Shri Radha Krishna. So we can see that this human civilization drinking poison knowingly. We can see this all over the world. This is happening. And people of this Kali Yuga have become so dull-headed, so less intelligent that they are preferring with the many plants, they are making poisons, they are eating and drinking poison. Literally, we can see nowadays whatever vegetables, fruits also we are getting. What is that? That is made by chemicals, fertilizers. So in foodstuffs also there is poison. So we are drinking and eating poison willingly and getting so many diseases, and then spending so much money on doctor and medicines, giving pain to our bodies. And this way we are making our own lives very unnatural. This is happening. That if I get some money, if I get a lot of money, I have so much, but they do it at the cost of their health, their bodily strength, and they they are they are they are just spoiling their time and energy, and themselves also eating.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you may unmute. Hare Krishna, you may unmute, Prabhuji. Prabhu, it seems your internet is quite slow. If you can turn off your video and just use the audio.
Okay.
that may help. Yeah, so you turn off the video and then you may unmute. Sorry, devotees will have to wait a little bit to see. We lost him. I think he will try to log on back. Okay, he's back. He's trying to connect his audio. Shri Pitambara Prabhu, your microphone is not connected yet. Okay. All right, your audio is connected, so you may unmute.
Audible now?
Yeah, but not very clear because your mic is still muted.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm
We lost him again. Poor internet connection. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees, it seems we're having issues with our speaker. So while we wait for him, we're going to play something else. Okay. Because we've lost him. I can't find him here at the moment.
Prabhupada, his presence was so powerful that when you came in his presence, you didn't feel like you were part of the material world. You felt that you were in some kind of a spiritual, transcendental environment. I didn't know about Vrindavan then, but now we'd say that Prabhupada actually was bringing Vrindavan with him. And so you felt the mood of Vrindavan when it came in the presence of Prabhupada. He was actually carrying Krishna in his heart. So I didn't understand that, but I felt that. Just being with Srila Prabhupada, I could feel the change. I could see that here was a genuine spiritual master that was actually practicing what he was preaching or practicing what he was teaching. The other people that I visited, they had books and they had teachings, but then they didn't practice those things where Prabhupada was. So all these things helped to build up my faith, but then Prabhupada was very merciful and he immediately engaged me in service. He had me be an assistant to, at that time his secretary was Govinda Dasi, I think Gorsundar. I forget, I think it was Gorsundar, I'm not sure, I can't remember, I think. And so when they would go shopping, when Prabhupada took the afternoon nap, and they would have me like, they call it babysit or guru sit. I had to sit outside just in case Prabhupada woke up and wanted something, then I would be on call. And usually he didn't want anything. But I would be there while they were out just at that time. So sometimes Prabhupada would wake up and he'd call me in and he would ask me different things. He said he wanted to get a flower. This was
Hare Krishna.
He said that if I get a flower.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, yes, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu, there was some network problem.
Yeah. We thought as much. All right, we can hear you. You may continue, Prabhuji.
Okay. So I was discussing that here in this shloka, the first word is mentioned is Gata Swartham.
Prabhuji, we sincerely apologize to you. It appears your internet is not strong enough and you might not be able to speak today.
Hare Krishna. Now, Prabhu, I have connected with Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you may continue then.
Yes.
Thank you.
So here the first word is Gata Swartham. That means without being properly utilized. Imam Deham means this body. So this is very important to understand. And the Swarth. Swarth means Swa Arth. That means what is our real benefit. So also Prahlad Maharaj says that Nate Vidhu Swarth Gatim Vishnu. That people of this world, they don't even know what is their real benefit. People think that if we acquire a lot of money, if I have a lot of bank balance, my life is becoming very peaceful and happy. People think in this way, but they don't understand that this cannot help us, this cannot protect us. We have some mental satisfaction by having some money and bank balance and property, but that cannot help us in protecting ourselves from the mouth of death. And further, we should understand what is our real benefit, what is our real swarth, what is our real benefit. That is to understand our real position, our constitutional position. As Srila Prabhupada is telling in this purport, that the human body is especially meant for cultivating knowledge of devotional service to the Lord, without which life becomes full of anxieties and miserable conditions. So, our real constitutional position is that we are eternal servants of Krishna. Jivera Swarup hai Krishnera Nityadas. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching us. So, without cultivating this spiritual knowledge, without developing this culture of devotional service to the Lord, we are full of anxieties and miserable conditions, which we can see in our lives practically. So, these anxieties and miserable conditions are there everywhere. That's why Prahlad Maharaj also says, when he goes to his father after some days training in Gurukul. So his father Hiranyakashipu, he asks Prahlad Maharaj, what you have learned in your school, in your Gurukul? So then he was expecting that this small child will give some kind of funny answer, something childish. But Prahlad Maharaj was a pure devotee, so he he revealed what he has realized. So he says, Tat sadhumanne asurvarya dehinam sada samudvigna dhyam asadgrihat hitvatma patam grihamandhakupam vanam gato yat harimashayat. So Prahlad Maharaj says that all the people of this world are always full of anxiety. Sada samudvigna dhyam. Samudvigna means anxieties. Dhyam means intelligence. Their minds and intelligence is always full of anxieties. Why? What is the reason of anxiety? The reason is asad grihat. Asad grihat means we have accepted the false as true. We think, everyone is thinking that I am this body. This is asad grihat. And then one thinks, I am the controller. I can control my life. I can be happy by my own plans. And I can become the supreme controller. This is the mentality of every materialistic person. as we can see at present, we are seeing that there is a war between Russia and Ukraine. Russia invades Ukraine. Everywhere this news is going on, so much battle is going on, and they are destroying each other fiercely. So this is the reason of not knowing one's position. That's why foundational knowledge is very important. That's why Sri Krishna is giving foundational knowledge in Bhagavad Gita. So what is that foundational knowledge? In the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving this foundational knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada says, whoever devotee, he comes in ISKCON, so he should know the first lesson is that. So this is a quick question from my side. Can someone answer? But Prabhupada says that whoever joins ISKCON, the first knowledge he should know is this. This is our foundational knowledge. Can someone answer?
You are not this body.
Yes, exact. Thank you, Prabhuji. This is the exact answer. Prabhupada says that we should know the first knowledge is that we are not these bodies, we are souls. And this is the first knowledge which Krishna is giving to Arjun in Bhagavad Gita. Dehino asmin yatha dehe komaram yovanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dhiras tatra namuhyati. So in this shloka, the word dhira is mentioned. Who is a dhir? Dhir means sober person. So one, first of all, who knows that I am not this body, I am soul. So this is the foundational knowledge we should have. And according to this foundational knowledge, we can act properly in terms of scriptures. But those people who have not this foundational knowledge, they are fighting with each other over small things, over some piece of land. To acquire some piece of land, they want to kill many people, many innocent people. They want to destroy their life, their peace. So this is a kind of insanity which is going on all over the world. When Prabhupada went to Australia, so he was interviewed, and one interviewed asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, how you are feeling coming to Australia? So Prabhupada says that we are propagating God consciousness all over the world. So we don't find any difference in any place. Wherever I go, I see same kind of trees, same kind of roads, same kind of sky, same kind of people, human beings, same kind of buildings and skyscrapers. So there is no difference. That is the difference you have made. This whole earth is, it belongs to God, but human beings, they have made some demarcations. This is Australia, this is America, this is China, this is Africa, this is India. So these kind of demarcations we have made because of our own selfish motives. But God has given this earth to all living entities to live according to his will and be eligible to love him. That is the purpose of creation. But they don't know this purpose of creation. That's why they are fighting like cats and dogs over petty things, which they cannot keep forever because they have to die one day. Even however big superpower country one may become, however super powerful person one may become, death will come and kick on his face, and he has to face the reality. So many big cruel kings came in the history. Churchill, Hitler, where they are now? They are nowhere. So this is the reality. But the demonic people, they don't want to accept this reality. Why? Because they are not dhira. They are not sober. They have no sense of values. They don't have any sense of understanding the basic things of spiritual life or our constitution. So devotees, they are very intelligent. They are very fortunate that they are able to understand this knowledge, this spiritual knowledge, by the mercy of pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada and his pure representatives who are traveling all over the world in each and every corner of this earth to propagate this Krishna consciousness. Like we can see Srila Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, he was a black lotus, as we hear about him, and he propagated this Krishna consciousness in Africa, different parts, everywhere. And people, they are getting this gem of Krishna consciousness. They are relishing their relationship with Krishna by cultivating Krishna consciousness under the able guidance of pure devotees and their representatives. So we are very fortunate to be in ISKCON, to get this opportunity to develop a pure Krishna consciousness, God consciousness, and thereby we can relish this taste of devotional life and we can share with others. So that good fortune we are getting. So, but other people, they are they are in demoniac concept of life, as Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 16th chapter, the divine and demoniac qualities. So what is the demoniac quality? The demoniac quality is Ishwaro aham bhogi. Huh? I am the controller. Ishwar means controller. So we all living entities, we have revolted against the Supreme Lord and we want to become controller. That's why we have come to this material world, because we want to become Ishwar. We want to become controllers. But actually we are controlled. We are controlled in each and every moment. We are controlled. Prabhupada gives an example that if Krishna, he wills, then in after 1 second the body becomes paralyzed and we cannot move even our hand, our mouth. So we are not controllers, we are controlled. You can see there's one nice example of one big world champion, Cassius Clay. Cassius Clay. Later he became Muhammad Ali. He changed his faith. So he was very powerful person in his time, very famous person, and he was saying everywhere that I am the greatest. No one can defeat me. So he was so much proud of his strength, his power. He was a boxing champion, worldwide boxing champion. And then he was saying, I am the greatest. No one can defeat me. But later, some ISKCON devotees, they went to interview him in his advanced life age. Then when devotees went there, they saw that he got one disease named Parkinson paralysis. In that, his whole body was shaking. So devotees asked, ISKCON devotees interviewed him. They asked, Sir, you were saying that I am the greatest. So now what do you think about your that statement? So he says, Muhammad Ali says that I was greatest, no doubt, but now I have realized that I was the greatest fool, because because I was thinking that I have all strength, but now my position is that I cannot even pick up a cup of tea myself, because whole his hands, his body has got Parkinson paralysis and whole body is shaking. His hands are always shaking, so he cannot even put a cup of tea. So this was his position. So this is the position of all egoistic, materialistic, demoniac people who revolt against the authority of the Supreme Lord. Time is very powerful, as it is mentioned in previous verses also. Kal. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Kalo Asmi. I am time. So Krishna, in the form of time, he devours everything. He 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 just smashes the ego of materialistic demonic people. So those who are intelligent, they humbly they take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. That's what we are getting to learn by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his faithful followers. We are learning how to surrender to Krishna. That is devotional service. That is devotional life. So we are very fortunate in this sense. But demoniac people, they don't accept this. Like we see in the case of Kauravas, they were demoniac. They wanted to kill Pandavas every time. But the surrender devotees, they are always protected by the Lord. So we should not be afraid of demons. We should be confident, and we should be very much happy that we have taken shelter of pure devotees, Vaishnavas. This is the life of Panch Pandavas and Kunti Devi. So Kunti Devi, in her prayers, she's expressing her her appreciation, her gratitude to Krishna for saving them in all situations. So one very nice verse is there. One of my favorite verses. Vishan Mahagne Purushada Darshana Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichrataha Mridhe Mridhe Astra Maharatha Dronyastrataschasma Hare Rabhirakshitaha. So Kunti Devi is saying that Vishat, you saved us from the deadly poison which Duryodhan gave to Bhim in his childhood. They gave Bhim deadly poison and threw him in water. But he came out alive. Krishna protected him. And Vishat, Mahagne, and then they were sent to one one palace made of uh, wick, which was planned to be burned to kill Pandavas. But by the help of Mahatma Vidur, Prabhupada is mentioning in this chapter, in every shloka's translation, Prabhupada is mentioning about Vidurji as Mahatma Vidur, Mahatma Vidur. In every translation, Prabhupada has got a special appreciation for Vidurji. So Prabhupada is mentioning everywhere Mahatma Vidur. Why? Because he was always helping Pandavas. So those who serve devotees, who help devotees in their services for Supreme Lord, for preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they automatically becomes dear to the Supreme Lord and his pure devotees. This is very natural. So if we want to become dear to Krishna and his pure devotees, we should become humble instruments in service of Shri Guru and Vaishnavas. This is very easy way to get attention of Krishna and his pure devotees. So we have these opportunities. Just we have to give up our false ego and become humble to contribute according to our capabilities in the service of this preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then we'll get their blessings. So we can see that Krishna protects his surrendered souls. So Kunti Mani says that you protect it in every situation. So Vishat Mahagne Purushad Darshana. And when they were roaming in forest, they met with so many fierce demons and they killed them. They were protected by Krishna. And Asat Sabhayam. Then more than this is Asat Sabha. In that assembly of Kauravas, the queen Draupadi, she was she was insulted in the most heinous way as a woman could be. But then only also Krishna protected her. And then after that, when there was a battle of Kurukshetra, so there were so many Maharathis, so many great warriors were there. Still, Pandavas came out victorious. Why? Because they took shelter of Krishna. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhaktaha pranashyati. Hey Kunti Putra, hey Arjun, just boldly declare that my devotees are never perished. So whatever happens in this material world, we should always take shelter of Krishna. So we can see that by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his followers, people all over the world, they are accepting Krishna consciousness. Now in Ukraine, so much, so much, so much deadly situation is there. Bombs are getting dropped and all these situations are there. But devotees there, we are seeing their interviews in YouTube. So devotees, they are very confident about their taking shelter of Krishna. This is what Prabhupada has taught. In such kind of demoniac country where people, they are so demoniac, they are fighting with each other, killing innocent people. There also some special souls are there. They are from their place only, but their hearts are converted, their hearts are changed, their hearts are surrendered to the Supreme Lord, to Krishna, and they are they are relishing the love of Krishna, and they are even in this situation, such situation, they are completely taking shelter of Krishna. So this is the success of Krishna consciousness. Krishna never says in Bhagavad Gita that devotees will live in this material world forever. Krishna is not giving any promises of bulletproof jackets for his devotees. That devotees will live forever in this material world and I will provide them bulletproof jackets. No, not like that. But Krishna is giving this promise that the consciousness of my devotees will never deviate from my lotus feet. This is the real mercy of Krishna. Ante Narayan Smriti. This is the aim of all the devotees, that at the end of my life, I should be able to think of Krishna. That is the success of our life. So, so we should cultivate this Krishna consciousness very seriously. We should develop attachment to Krishna and his pure devotees, and we should try to detach ourselves from this material conception of life, materialistic attachments. That's what is expected by Krishna and his pure devotees. So here in this verse also, it is encouraged that we become dheer. Dheer means, Prabhupada says, dheer means one who is not disturbed even when there is severe provocation. So we can see in the in the character of devotees, they are practically realizing this. When there is some trouble, even the risk of life, but still devotees are able to think of Krishna, to be surrendered to Krishna. That is real success of Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada further says that usually a man cannot give up a comfortable family life due to his affectionate relation with wife and children. Self-realize is obstructed by such undue affection for family, and if anyone is at all able to forget such a relation, he is called undisturbed or dheer. This is, however, the path of renunciation based on a frustrated life. So we can see that anyhow we have to give up these material ties somehow or other. Either we develop the knowledge of renunciation, or the bomb drops from the sky someday. It will happen. We have to give up this body somehow or other, either by bombs, either by some disease, or any kind of situation. We cannot live in this body forever. We cannot live with our material attachments forever in this body. So this is the reality.
So that's why the scriptures are encouraging us to develop a sense of detachment. That's what our Krishna consciousness movement is all about. That's why the beginning of Krishna conscious philosophy is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says Vairagya Vidya. This Krishna consciousness is Vairagya Vidya. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. So the Bhakti Yoga is Vairagya Vidya. Vairagya means developing detachment from material sense gratification. This is the solution to material problems. That's why Prahlad Maharaj also encourages his father that Sada samudvign dhyam asadgrihat hitvatma patam griham andakupam vanam gato yat harimashayata. That one should give up this atma ghatam, hitvatma patam, hitvatma patam griham andakupam. This family life, Prahlad Maharaj says that his family life is like a dark well. So one should give up this dark well of materialistic family life, and then he should go to the forest where he should seek for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. But Prabhupada says in his purport that going to forest means going to Vrindavan or any holy place where he can get association of devotees and practice Krishna consciousness. That is the practical meaning of this verse. So devotees, they can create this kind of environment, and that is real, vanvas. So when there is no self-realization and Krishna in center, then it is called Andhakupam. The family life will be considered Andhakupam, or a dark well, when there is no Krishna consciousness or Krishna in center. So our family life is not discouraged at all, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's many associates were also family people. They were most of the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were householders, but they were detached at heart. At heart, they had renunciation. So that has to be cultivated by the guidance and discipline of spiritual master. The spiritual master knows how to give us the medicine for our material disease, our material attachments. Ultimately, we have to give up. So we have to develop, but bhakti means to develop attachment to Krishna. Bhakti parishanubhava viraktir anyatra syat. Bhakti means to realize the higher taste, and then automatically we will feel distasteful to materialistic way of life. So Krishna consciousness is very natural lifestyle. It's not that artificially or forcefully you have to change your lifestyle. No, but under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, we have to practice, we have to cultivate Krishna consciousness. As much as we develop love for Krishna, attachment to Krishna service, that much automatically will become detached from material sense gratification. That is the test of Krishna consciousness. Then we are progressing. That is a test. We have to check ourselves where I'm situated spiritually. So we have to develop this quality of becoming dhira. So what is frustrated renunciation? Here Prabhupada is saying that this is a kind of frustrated renunciation. We have got some frustration in our material life, and then we are becoming detached. So this is not very high class. Like Prabhupada says that we are always embarrassed. We are always embarrassed by material nature. Material nature is embarrassing us. We want to become Lord. We want to become controller, but material nature kicks on the face of such egoistic people. Just a little time before, there was so much threat of coronavirus all over the world, and people, they were hiding in their houses. And just now, little it has decreased. They have come out of their homes and they have started fighting. This is the material world. Previously, they had fear of their lives because of some virus and they were hiding themselves. Little it subdued, they came out of their house, they started fighting over small things. Such nonsense people we can see. They could realize that we are not controllers. Our powers, our machineries, it's not helping us. People were dying so much. But now, little it subdued, and they are thinking we are gods, we are powerful, and they are fighting and they are destroying each other so much. They are destroying resources, they are destroying people, they are, you know, doing all kind of this destruction. Such dull-headed people. So devotees, they should be intelligent, and they should utilize each and every moment very seriously in cultivating Krishna consciousness. By seeing these kind of situations, we should be more serious in cultivation of our Krishna consciousness. That is very important. So real renunciation means developing loving devotional service. As much as we love Krishna, we serve Krishna, we can become happy. So one very nice quote I was remembering of my Guru Maharaj, Srila Subhak Swami Maharaj. Today morning while chanting, I remembered this, and it's really connected to this verse. So my Guru Maharaj says that devotional service should be done in such a way that we first forget our bodily pleasures and later bodily demands. So we should do devotional service. When we are doing some devotional service for Krishna, for Vaishnavas, we should feel very happy. We should feel very joyful that I have got this good opportunity. And we should be, very much absorbed in services, so that we forget our bodily pleasures. Like we like to eat many nice palatable things, but if I am relishing my devotional service, some devotional activities, say book distribution, devotees go for book distribution and they forget eating, they forget sleeping, they cut down their eating and sleeping. When devotees are chanting and dancing, discussing Harikatha with each other, they forget eating and sleeping. This is the way of giving up sense gratification, not forcefully forcing ourselves. I will not eat, I will not see. No, but when we are relishing higher taste, param drishtavani vartate. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, when we are tasting higher taste, then automatically will not hanker for lower tastes. So we should always be in good association, higher association, those who are much more advanced than us. Such devotees we should associate with, and by this we can keep our consciousness to higher level, and ultimately we can come to the platform of Krishna consciousness. So this is my little understanding from what I have learned from Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. So I just share humbly with all of you. All devotees are much more experienced than me, much more senior than me. Like I am seeing my dear friend Ganga Prasad Prabhu, my very dear friend. So I'm grateful to all of you, and I seek blessings from all the devotees. I've not realized all these things, but which I am speaking, but I wish blessings of all the Vaishnavas, so that one day I can realize this and make my life successful, fortunate. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Pitambara Prabhu. That was very beautiful, very, very beautiful. And we are really thankful that finally you were able to have a stable internet.
Yes.
And before we go to Ganga Prasad Prabhu, we want to register our heartfelt greetings to His Grace Srivas Vanachari Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you for being here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Shivas Prabhu ki jai ho.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pitambara Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
for the wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for blessing
Really
and encouraging.
Very well. Okay, so Sri Ganga Prabhu, please, you may unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Am I
Krishna.
audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh, Pitambar Prabhu, I am not having any question, but I want to count myself fortunate to have your darshan
good.
again
We hope
after
in the
we met
future.
in Vrindavan.
I am
Thank you
now
for
in
everything.
Mayapur.
Okay, me, I'm in Nigeria
Yeah.
now. Thank you very much. Class was very, very shockingly filled with facts and figures. Thank you. And I wish that you can come to this platform again and again. You're welcome. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
I
Krishna.
feel very happy in my family of Krishna, Prabhupada's family in Africa. I feel very fortunate to serve all the Vaishnavas there. Hare Krishna.
Pitambar Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I have a question for you.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I am not sure if you were told, since this is your first time, that on this forum, usually we ask questions. And we ask questions because ISKCON is a preaching movement. And when we go out there, we're preaching to people who do not really believe in what we do, so they eventually going to ask questions. So we prepare ourselves here by hearing and then asking questions. So one question I have for you is, well, you spoke so wonderfully, so beautifully, and I've learned so much from your class today. But
it's all but the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj.
But when you were talking about Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali, that he was saying, and you are not the first person I've heard say this. I've heard from few devotees use this example, that Muhammad Ali used to say, I'm the greatest, that it got to a point he could not even lift his hand to do whatever. See, I would like you to throw a little bit more light on this, in the sense that in Bhagavad Gita chapter 18, verse 48, Krishna was telling Arjuna, because Arjuna didn't want to fight, Krishna had to do lots of convincing before Arjuna eventually fought. So Krishna was telling Arjuna that every endeavor in this world has some fault. You cannot embark on any endeavor in this world without some fault attached to it. So as devotees, it's suicidal to think that somebody else is crazy. You know, but one true principle in driving on the street is that as a driver, you should think that apart from you, everybody else is crazy. That is defensive driving, because you may be following all the road safety rules, but another crazy driver will come and then cause an accident. And so when you assume that apart from you, any other driver you see on the highway is crazy, and so you drive defensively, then you can possibly avoid accident. One thing in fighting is that when you're fighting, you have to convince yourself that you will be able to beat your opponent. And so when Muhammad Ali used to say that I am the greatest, he was not referring to himself as the greatest of all, because, like you already said, he was Cassius Clay, and then he became Muhammad Ali. He was a Muslim. And before he fights, he prays to Allah. So he understood that there is a superior force than himself. But within the boxing, he felt that he is the greatest. And so I would want you to shed more light on this so that, of course, our program is streamed live on YouTube so that when people watch and listen to us, they do not think that these Hare Krishnas are demeaning or having disrespect to Muhammad Ali. Of course, we respect everybody. We speak the truth. As a devotee, we do not insult. That is devotee. But for the sake of preaching, sometimes we insult because every endeavor has some fault with it. And so I would want you to throw a little bit more light on how somebody may say, I'm the greatest, I'm this, I'm that, but eventually you're going to be defeated. Time is going to defeat you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for your question, Prabhuji. So according to my limited capacity of my intelligence, I would like to share what I understand. So what I understand is from the Sadhu Guru Shastra, because our guidelines are Sadhu, Guru and Shastra, because they are perfect. But we, the living beings in this material world, we are not perfect. We are full of 4 defects which are mentioned by our acharyas. So the way we think may not be perfect in sense of eternity. So whatever endeavors we are doing in this material world, generally they are based on our own aspirations, our material aspirations, which is based on the wrong conception of life. Because we should, then again it comes to the foundational knowledge. First of all, every human being should have proper foundational knowledge, which is revealed in all books of religions, in all sects. Like even if you say Christianity, so when Jesus Christ, he came to preach, then he preached everyone that our purpose of life is to love God. And I am the Son of God. Jesus Christ himself said. Lord Muhammad, if we tell about, then he said that I am servant of God. So all religions, all sects, even of this world, they have also accepted the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, and then the aim of our life should be centered on achieving that eternal life, that constitution, our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So life should be directed to achieve that aim. That is the real purpose of our life. So in towards that direction, whatever we are doing according to our conditioning, according to whatever skill, talents we have got, that should be utilized for achieving that goal, to go in that direction for our ultimate benefit. Otherwise, whatever we are doing in this material world, that is binding us in the cycle of action and reaction. So in that sense, people are doing so many things, what they like, what they think I should do, but that may not help them for their ultimate goal of life. So whatever we are doing, it should be in direction to take advantage of this human body, because we have got this human body which is considered the rarest of the rare. This is the rarest opportunity we have got, this human body. In that body we have got higher intelligence than lower species like animals or birds. So we should utilize this human body for our real benefit, for the benefit of the soul, and not to just be
engrossed in this bodily affairs, and then trying to prove ourselves as great or powerful. That is not the real purpose of life. That is not the aim of life, and we are wasting the valuable time which we can use for developing God consciousness, which is our real position, which is our real aim of life, which we can cultivate through by the means of this body we have got in human life. We have got higher intelligence, we have got higher way of thinking, so we human being can discriminate between wrong or right. Human being can follow some religious codes, not animals can do it. So in this human life, whatever we are doing, it should be in direction of achieving the real aim of life, to cultivate spiritual culture, so that we can become free from this cycle of birth and death, which is the ultimate goal described by all religions. This is my understanding for this question, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Well, thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Anyone else with anything to say, to add? Pitambara Prabhu is here. Prabhuji, in the purport, right? In the purport, Srila Prabhupada was talking about anxiety, like karmis have lots of anxieties. Let me see. It says, yeah, full of anxieties and miserable conditions. Now, I want to find out from you, because if someone is not Hare Krishna devotee, and as such, we assume that that person has anxieties and has miserable conditions. That person also sees us as Hare Krishna devotees, and also thinks that we are also in a miserable condition. I remember some time ago, Kirtananda Maharaj used to say that sometimes as devotees, we look at the karmis and we think they are suffering. And the karmis, they also look at the devotees and they also think of us as suffering. Look at this, look at these people. They can't even put on good clothes. They wear bed sheets. No, they can't eat this, they can't eat that. So many restrictions. So they feel we are miserable people. Now, so I want you to help us to understand what really means when we say somebody is in a miserable condition. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Very interesting question, Prabhu. Yeah. So there was one article written by Srila Prabhupada. I think we should read that sometime. Very interesting article. That was, Who is Crazy? The article was, Who is Crazy? So the materialistic people, they think these devotees, they are crazy, that they are not taking opportunity of this human life. They are wasting their times and, using their times in this kind of their spiritual activities, and they are not enjoying lives. And devotees think that these people, they are crazy because they are not utilizing their valuable time, human life, in cultivating God consciousness, serving the Supreme Lord. So the simple answer will be, what example given by Srila Prabhupada, is that if we want to taste honey, then we have to open the lid and put our finger inside, and then we have to taste by touching the honey to our tongue. But if we simply lick the bottle from outside. We cannot taste it. So similarly, what is Krishna consciousness? What is devotional service? Those who are doing, they can experience, they can relish. That's why we can see that is the real example, that when Srila Prabhupada, he went to the Western countries and he started preaching God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Before that, people, they were enjoying unrestricted sense gratification. If we want to compare, we can compare that people, they are enjoying their senses unrestrictedly, but then they become frustrated. They are never satisfied. The senses can never become satisfied. So people are enjoying, but still they are getting frustrated. Like, we can take many examples, like people, they are given an opportunity. Okay, if you want to enjoy, you can enjoy family life, you can live in family life, but then why there are divorces? Why husband and wife before marriage, they become attached, they become attracted to each other, then they get married, and then suddenly after some time they become so much frustrated with each other, they cannot see face of each other, they get divorced, they become, so much negative. Why it happens like this? Its sense gratification is happiness. Why people are not happy by sense gratification? If intoxication is happiness, why they get diseased? If these kind of enjoyments for the senses are really happiness, then why they become frustrated? Why they commit suicides? So many big people, so many, millionaires, they become disturbed, they become frustrated, they commit suicide. Celebrities, why it happens like this? If materials enjoyment can give only pleasure, so actually this is not real pleasure. That's why our acharyas, they are realized souls. That's why they are saying that these material sense objects are like poisons. We may think it to be uh, joy, but in long run it will give its reactions. That is the fact. Otherwise, why there are so many hospitals? Then the question comes, okay, then Hare Krishna devotees, they also become sick, they also met with some miserable situations in their lives, they also have to go to doctor, they have to also go to hospitals. Yes, that is there. That is the nature of this material body, that one somehow or other this body will be diseased, and one day it will be finished. So that is a fact, no doubt. But still, devotees, their consciousness, the difference is consciousness. People, materialistic people, their mind, their consciousness can never become peaceful. But devotees, although they are suffering, they have some disease or difficulties, but their mind, their consciousness is always, always at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. They can remember the Supreme Lord. They can think of the Lord, and in this way they are protected, because we have to think on the basis of eternity, not temporary life. That's why in all discussions, if we discuss with someone, there should be some basis of discussion. So some foundation should be there. So first thing is then that we should understand that this body is temporary. We are not this body. So the soul is eternal. So the healthy discussion will also happen only when there is some common platform of understanding. This has to be, there. Otherwise, one may argue in so many ways, but there will not come a proper conclusion. So first of all, foundational knowledge should be there for everyone. One has to accept the, temporary nature of this body. One day we have to leave this body, but we are so much intoxicated
We are so much engrossed in our bodily pleasure, bodily, consciousness, that we are not able to accept it. But whether you accept or not, one day you have to give up this body. However happy you may think about yourself, how much successful you may think yourself, one day you have to give up this body. So what will happen after that? That is the beginning of spiritual knowledge. Then we can discuss things. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Sri Pitambara Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for that answer.
Hare Krishna.
Anadi Nidanam. Prabhu, you may unmute. Anadi Nidanam.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for gracing our platform. So, Hare Krishna Prabhu, having said that, I would like you to take you away from today's topic a little bit. Today is Shiva Ratri, and he is being the topmost devotee. And looking at the Vaishnava calendar today, is there that today is Shiva Ratri, but we are not obliged to fast on today. And I know that Shiva is not different from Lord Vishnu, if I'm right. So why is it not obligatory for Vaishnavas to fast on a day like this? I just want to know, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful question. And I had also this question in my mind. So I can share one of my personal experience in this Mayapur Dham only, few years back. And it was morning time. I was like chanting my rounds, and then I finished my rounds, and my Guru Maharaj was also present here. Every year he comes here in Mayapur for Gaur Purnima time. So he was present in his room in Senior Brahmachari Ashram in Mayapur temple. So I was thinking that should I fast today? Today is Shivaratri, or should I not fast today? I was thinking this in my mind. And then I went inside my Guru Maharaj's room, and Guru Maharaj sometimes in the morning, he takes some kind of ginger tea and some little snacks. So he was taking ginger tea and little snack. And then I was standing just there, one devotee, my god brother was serving him. And then I was thinking, should I ask Guru Maharaj that should I observe fasting? But I'm seeing that Guru Maharaj is not observing fasting. He's eating biscuits. And then suddenly, after finishing, he told my god brother, give him one biscuit. So he could understand what I'm thinking. So he gave me a biscuit. Then I accepted it happily. If spiritual master is telling me to do something, there is some purpose behind it. So he knows my heart. So I took the biscuit and I got the answer that I don't need to fast. So this is my experience. And one answer I feel from Prabhupada's teachings is that Prabhupada did not elaborate these things so much, because there are so many rules and regulations in scriptures. It is not wrong, but our main purpose is to develop love for Krishna. Our purpose is not, we have to follow rules and regulations of Vedic Bhakti, but our purpose is not just following rules and regulations. Our purpose is to develop love for Krishna. And there are so many elaborated rules which are given in scriptures. We can do it, but best is to follow as much as Prabhupada is giving to us, because then we can elaborate it in so much, so many ways. But we should just be humble that whatever Prabhupada is giving us, we just follow it. And if we do it in a good quality, then we'll get all benefits, whatever we'll get by following the rules of scriptures, elaborated rules. What Prabhupada is giving us, that is sufficient for us. So Prabhupada's mood is preaching. Whatever thing we have to do is we have to do our sadhana very nicely. We have to take benefit of our early morning hours. We should get up early in the morning. We should take bath regularly. We should do Mangala Aarti. We should chant our minimum 16 rounds as early as possible with very nice quality in a prayerful mood. And rest of the day, we should keep ourselves engaged in preaching activities. Thereby, we can get the mercy of Vaishnavas, Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should focus on this mainly because our preaching, we are preaching movement. So we should always be in preaching mood. But for preaching, we have to also follow strictly, nicely. But we don't need to elaborate it so much. Just like one time I asked my Guru Maharaj one question that we hear from different Vaishnavas that we should not chew the tulsi leaf. We should not chew with teeth. We should just swallow it. So how much practical is it? Then Guru Maharaj gave a nice answer, which is related to your question. He said that in scriptures there are two kind of dharmas are given, duties are given. One is dharma, and there are many upadharmas. That means one is main rules to follow, and there are so many, like under that so many different details are there, so many different rules are there. Upadharma, which is called upadharma, that means other minor things. So we not necessary all the time need to follow all these kind of details when we are just trying to follow the real dharma. The real dharma is to develop love for Krishna. The real dharma is to develop attachment to the holy name, form, pastimes, and devotees of Krishna. When we are getting this opportunity to follow this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come here to give us love of Krishna. So when we are getting opportunity to, if you are getting opportunity to study in the topmost university, then you will follow those, course books only. You need not to do many small kind of, other things. So when we are getting this opportunity to develop love for Krishna under the able guidance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his pure representatives like Srila Prabhupada, so then we don't need to follow all the different details of scriptures. Like one time Prabhupada told one of his disciples, there are so many rules and regulations in scriptures, if I tell you, you will faint. So one thing we'll do, one day we'll do something, and there are so many details to be observed every day, we may not be able to do that. So better we stick to Prabhupada. Whatever Prabhupada is giving, that is sufficient for us to become pure devotees, to go back to Godhead, to get the mercy. We don't need to learn from other sister concern organizations. They are following purely, we respect them. We don't say that only pure devotees are here in our institution. There also pure devotees are there, but we are practicing under the able guidance of Srila Prabhupada, and we should be very much confident and very much satisfied in that, and we should confidently feel Prabhupada and our spiritual masters, and then definitely we'll get the same result. I am confident about it. And we can experience also from history that those who stick to what Srila Prabhupada says, they are becoming successful in their spiritual lives. They are going back to Godhead, which is our purpose. So we should be confident and we should be satisfied that we are fortunate enough to be under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, and we should be faithful to Srila Prabhupada, and definitely Krishna will be happy with us by our commitment to our spiritual master, our loyalty to our spiritual master. That will give us success. We cannot follow much. We have no ability also. But if we have one thing, one quality, surrender and dedication to our spiritual master, Krishna will appreciate this more than following many rules and regulations, doing many austerities. This is what I feel. I understand from my Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I truly appreciate your answer to Anadini Dhanam Prabhu's question. It's very interesting because I also had the same question. I also asked my Gurudev the same question. What do I do? And it so happens that oftentimes when I'm served prashadam, I get tulsi leaf. So I asked the same question because before we pluck the leaf, we pray to Mother Tulsi. And then after plucking, we pray to her for forgiveness if we've caused any hurt. And so I was asking, do I have to chew? Do I have to swallow? And his answer was just like what your Gurudev told you. He says, it's prashadam. What do you do with prashadam? It's become prashadam. You can chew, you can swallow, you whatever. So, and one interesting thing too is when you were stressing so much about just simply trying to follow what Srila Prabhupada has given us. If we simply try to follow what Srila Prabhupada has given us, that's all we need. There may be so many other things coming from here and there. We're not saying they are not necessary, but we, just as I'm a married man, I have a wife, but that does not mean that when I see a beautiful woman, I don't see the beauty in that woman. But seeing the beauty in that woman does not mean that I have to go for that woman. You know, I still stick to my wife. And so even though we belong to ISKCON, we love our movement, we love everything Srila Prabhupada has given us, we can't thank him enough. Yet when we see others doing something good, we appreciate, but we don't go grab for it. You know, otherwise we have the Sanat Kumaras, they are different Sampradayas. We don't do exactly what they do. We just follow strictly what Srila Prabhupada has given us. So thank you for stressing on that point. It's very important because I recently listened to one class by His Grace Mahatma Prabhu, and he was saying that lots of Srila Prabhupada's disciples who studied Sanskrit, they all blooped except one devotee. Why? Because as they were studying the Sanskrit, they came to learn so many things. They felt that Srila Prabhupada did not teach us. And so Srila Prabhupada either didn't understand or was hiding something from us. And they blew. And so the mistake devotees sometimes make is that we try to understand Srila Prabhupada in the eyes of the previous acharyas, which is wrong. Instead, we should see the previous acharyas through Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is our fountainhead. Once we go past Srila Prabhupada, everything spoils. So thank you for stressing on that point. It's very, very important.
Prabhuji, I want to share one point on
Please
this
do.
thing.
Yes, please.
That like sometime I refer to the Acharya's commentaries, original Sanskrit text.
Yes.
So sometime I refer to that, and after reading that, I could appreciate Prabhupada's purport more, because I could understand that whatever is written in Sanskrit by Acharyas, that is not practical in modern scenario. We can see that, but Prabhupada, in terms of like following, like blindly following, like copying that text and just trying to experiment. So Prabhupada has explained the same thing. Today's purport also, I read the commentaries of Acharyas. The same points Prabhupada is explaining in his purport as it is. But also, like Prabhupada is giving us this from modern time, place, circumstance, context, very practically, in a very applied manner. Like if we say, like, then Prahlad Maharaj says that you will go to forest. and seek for Lord Hari. So Prabhupada says that nowadays there are no forests. So where you will go? So that's why going to forest means going to the holy place where there are pure devotees and you can associate with them. So we have to understand this by, our acharyas, powerful acharya Srila Prabhupada is empowered by Krishna and pure devotees. So we have to take shelter of pure devotees. Like you said, we should become like a chaste wife to the spiritual master. Then we can get this realization, not just simply by reading scriptures, not by simply reading books theoretically, we can understand this spiritual knowledge. It's not like that. How we will understand? This is a revealed process. By our humble service attitude to Sri Guru and Krishna, Krishna will reveal to it. That's why Krishna has made the process like this. Tad viddhi pranipaten pariprashnen sevaya. Just go to a self-realized soul and humbly serve him, submit to him, be submissive, and then humbly, after serving, you inquire from him humbly, not in an arguing manner, but in a submissive manner. Then, by his blessings, by his instructions, if you follow, then you will realize it. So this is a realized process, revealed process. We have to depend on the mercy. We cannot steal this knowledge. I will read books, I will steal this knowledge. Not like that. We cannot realize it. It depends on the mercy of a pure devotee. Then comes the importance of surrender. We have to surrender to the spiritual master. Then only we can realize. Otherwise, we may speak theoretically, but we may not be able to, become free from our lust, anger, greed. We fell victim of lust, anger, greed. Although we may have knowledge of scriptures also. So we have limitations. We depend on mercy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for everything you've shared with us today. And at this point, we ask devotees if anybody, Shri Govinda, you have a question? You have something to say? Please unmute. Hare Krishna. Please unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Vaishnava devotees. Prabhu, I'm really touched by your presentation. It's so deep and so simple and easy to assimilate. Prabhu, there is one thing that is bothering my mind, and I would like you to help me. We understand by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his disciples why the living entities are here in this material world.
Yes.
The understanding is that we have turned away from Krishna, and that has brought contamination to our heart. And we understand from Srila Prabhupada that in order for us to again re-establish our loving relationship with Krishna again, we need this heart to be purified. And in order to purify this heart, Srila Prabhupada has given us a process of chanting and hearing.
Yes.
And then we also understand that just by paying attention, rapt attention to the Bhagavatam Seva, is one of the easiest ways for this heart to be purified.
Yes.
And so we are constantly advised to be hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and pay oral reception to it. This same chanting and hearing process is being followed and practiced by many devotees and very much advanced devotees, practicing the same thing to a very high level. And at a point, these same devotees will just drop the whole process. And again, these impurities we're talking of, the same devotees we are practicing this process. Some are doing it for 20 years, for 30 years, for 40 years. We still have all these qualities that we don't want to give it up, like envy, hatred, seniority, better than you, higher than you, you must listen to me. These are all different branches of these impurities we're talking about.
Yes.
But we same people are speaking the Bhagavatams, and we same people are hearing Bhagavatams every day. So I don't see the connection. What is the best? Is it because we listen but we don't hear, or we hear but we don't listen? Or is there any practical way of actually hearing Bhagavatam? How do we hear the Bhagavatam for Bhagavatam actually to work on our hearts? Because we can see how the whole world is just rough today. The whole world is just rough. People are dying from left and right. War is going on here. So much catastrophe is going on everywhere. We are in a time of danger. And it's a time we have to be more of Krishna consciousness. We have to be more Krishna conscious in order for us to actually have the mercy of Krishna. And we possess all these things, even though we are hearing every day, we are chanting every day. What is the best way of doing this, to hear? What is the best way? Just by let's sit down and hear, or there's something else more that we need to do for us to get this purification?
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your honest question. And practically speaking, honestly speaking, that I also have the same question in my mind. This question comes to my mind also all the time, because like we also experience these things, regularly, that we are hearing, we are speaking, but we are acting differently. We can see, we can feel that. Yes, Prabhu. The problem which you are mentioning is really a true problem. It's a reality. It's a reality. So I remember that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj, sometime we go here in Mayapur, his samadhi is there, his bhajan kutir is there in Gaudiya Math. So there in his bhajan kutir, when we go, we read one statement. There is one statement written by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. It's in Bengali. It says that Kanak Kamini Pratishtha Bhagini Chadi Ache Yare Sei to Vaishnav. Sei Anasakt, Sei Shuddha Bhakt, Sansare Paye Parabhav. So it says, it means that Kanak Kamini Pratishtha. Kanak means wealth. Kamini, that means opposite gender. And Pratishtha. Pratishtha means desire for name, fame, recognition, designation, distinction. So these all things are like witch, Bhagini, like a witch. Then Chadi Ache Yare Sei to Vaishnav. One who has given up all these things, the desire for money,
desire for enjoying opposite gender, and then pratishtha, name, fame, recognition, distinction, adoration. He is real Vaishnav. He is really detached. He is pure devotee, and he can become free from this cycle of birth and death. So we are seeing that people, they have weakness of heart. They come to devotional life, they practice Krishna conscious philosophy, but they sometimes many follow just as ritualistic thing. We are chanting Hare Krishna, we are trying to follow regulatory principles as rules and regulations, so many restrictions, but we don't try to act on the essence. The essence is whatever we are doing, whatever austerities we are doing, whatever rules are we are following, the purpose is to develop love for Krishna. But to develop love for Krishna, first of all, we have to develop godly qualities. That's why there is this discussion in the Bhagavad Gita in 16th chapter, divine and demonic qualities. And Krishna is mentioning also different places, what kind of devotee is dear to me. So we should understand that I am practicing this Krishna conscious philosophy, but am I trying to qualify myself according to the expectations given by the Lord? Or just I am just following rules and regulations for the sake of following? So that becomes niyamagraha, as it is mentioned in Nectar of Instruction. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha. Niyamagra means following the rules for the sake of following. So we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam classes, speaking Bhagavatam, but not taking it seriously, not trying to realize, not trying to put into practice, not trying to put into our behavior, then we'll not get that result of realizing or relishing Krishna consciousness. Why then people do this? Because we are getting something at least we are getting. At least we are chanting Hare Krishna, so we are getting some pious credits. So that like also our Acharya says, the effect of nama parad. If someone is chanting offensively, if one is chanting Hare Krishna with offenses, so what will be the result? He will get some material gains. He will get some material benefits in his life, some comforts, and some recognition in the society, respect in the society. So these are the effects of offensive chanting. So you will get something, some pious credits, because you are chanting Hare Krishna, God's names. But the result is just petty things, these material things. But if someone is less intelligent, he is hankering for that only. So he's getting that. But that is making him away from the real achievement, which is developing love for God, to satisfy, to please Krishna, to love Krishna. So that means people, they don't want to pay the price. They think because we have our conditioning, we have our attachments, so we think that by getting this only I can be happy. If I will get respect from other people, I'll be happy. If I'll get some material gains by chanting Hare Krishna, I can be happy. That means we are too much attached to our bodies. We are too much into bodily platform. So much attachment is there to our gross and subtle body. Subtle body is mind, intelligence, false ego. So we want to satisfy our false ego, but in the name of religion, in the name of practicing Krishna consciousness. That means I am too much materially attached. So this attachment can go away only by the discipline accepted from spiritual master. We have so many lackings, so we need to be chastised. We deserve to be chastised. So for that, we should accept the chastisement and discipline of Guru, because Guru is like an axe. He will cut off our material attachments. But we don't want to become disciples. Disciple means who allows his spiritual master to inflict discipline upon him. That is the meaning of disciple. Not just simply getting formal initiation and I am living my own way. I am just doing for some rules and regulations, and I feel satisfied. Not like that. One has to accept the discipline of the spiritual master. Chastisement. Shishya, the word Shishya, Sanskrit word, means disciple. So Shishya word means to one who accepts Shasan. Shasan. Shasan means discipline of a spiritual master. Spiritual master will correct us. He will tell us my mistakes. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada says that the duty of Sri Guru is to show me my thousands and thousands of faults. So am I really interested to become a disciple? I have to ask myself. So we are just becoming like Gyanis. We are reading scriptures, we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we are speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam, but we don't want to realize it. We don't want to practice it. We don't want to take discipline of the spiritual master. Because I have so many anarthas, but I may be speaking so many things from scriptures, from hearing here and there, but I'm not able to realize it. I'm not serious enough to practice it. So I have these defects. So I need chastisement from my spiritual master. But most of the time, we don't will to get it. We think, okay, I have got initiation, I have become a devotee, I have understood, I have learned all philosophy, I can become a preacher, I can become a speaker. But we should do it in an attitude of a servant. I'm speaking so that I can become purified. In association of all the devotees, I'm getting opportunity to speak something from Srimad Bhagavatam, but I'm not qualified. But this is the mercy, this is the blessing of my Guru, this is the blessing of devotees. They are giving me opportunity to speak so that I can remember all these things. I can get their blessings and I can realize these things. So whatever service we are doing, we should do it in a humble attitude. I'm doing it for satisfying my spiritual master. I'm doing it for getting the mercy of Vaishnavas and Krishna. This genuine attitude we have to develop. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada says that I have not accepted anyone as my disciple. Those whom you consider to be my disciples, they are actually my Guru work. So real Guru, actual genuine Guru, he doesn't consider anyone as his disciple. He thinks that I am serving them. I am serving these souls in service of my Guru, because my Guru has given me this service to serve them, the forgotten souls, to develop their relationship with Krishna, to develop attachment to Krishna. So I'm serving them so that they can also come closer to Krishna. This is one of the 7 purposes of ISKCON made by Prabhupada. Prabhupada said that the purpose, our purpose is to bring the members of the society closer together and nearer to Krishna. We have to be associated with devotees, but not for just sentimental socialization. Oh, get together of devotees, ha ha hee hee, and some little bit chanting, eating good food, and attached to our material activities or our material attachments as it is. No. Our devotee association means helping each other to develop relationship with Krishna, to develop attachment to Krishna. That is the real purpose of devotee association. So we should, or like, but the problem which you are saying is real. We face it, we see it, but we should not be discouraged by that. We should associate with those who are serious to advance, those who are honest, those who are genuine devotees. So things will be like that. We have to be realistic also, because Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita that 4 kind of people come to him: artharthi, jigyasu, jnani. That means those who are distressed, those who are after some money, some material wealth, they come to Krishna. And then jigyasu, those who are inquisitive, and the real one who is in real knowledge. So it is like expected that not everyone will be on the same platform. Not everyone will be serious enough to practice Krishna consciousness to go back to Godhead. But still, they are far better than outsiders. Like one time my Guru Maharaj gave a class in Vrindavan last year only. So some crowd came, and then they were just new people, freshers. So then he knows their consciousness. Then he said, if you are chanting Hare Krishna, but you are not following regularity principles, then you are better than those who are not chanting Hare Krishna. So similarly, we can judge by their actions, their attitude, what is their seriousness, what is their goal, what is their target. So everyone may not have the same target of going back to Godhead, but if we are interested to get the ultimate goal, going back to Godhead or getting love of Krishna, we should associate with those who are serious candidates or serious practitioners, and we take benefit. Simple like that, Prabhuji. This is my understanding. I also experienced these things. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very, very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Pitambara Prabhu. Well, it's been 2 hours. We're sorry we initially had some hitches here and there with your internet, but I'm so happy and grateful that with all those distractions, you still were able to have your equipoised situation and give us what you just gave us. See, I personally appreciate this class so much in the sense that I don't know much, but the little that I know, if I just know how to put them into practice, I know I will be successful. But the problem is how to put it into practice. And your lecture, your class today, primarily dealt with how to practice what our gurus, our Srila Prabhupada has given us. And I just can't thank you enough, Prabhuji. And it is my humble request, and I believe the humble request of all the devotees here, that anytime we throw you an invite, please you accept our invitation and then you come here to share your realization and association with us. We just can't thank you enough, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm
Prabhuji.
not sure if His Grace Srivas Vanachari is still here. If you have something to say, Ganga Prashad, Vara Prabhu, you have something to say before we let Pitambara Prabhu go.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
PITAMBARA Prabhu. Hare Krishna Snadem
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Yeah, actually, it's late. It's late in India now.
Yes.
The class started at 8:30, so now it must be 10:30, going to 11 o'clock. So it's a big sacrifice for him to be with us at this hour. But he's such a wonderful Vaishnav that I feel very happy that he is with us on this program. Actually, I have to say that when I was in Vrindavan, he was very, very helpful to me. Yeah. We met at the IBM, ISKCON Mahabhat, whatever, school. That's where we connected. And then after that, when Sahadin Prabhu gave me that money to buy the mridangas for West Africa,
Yeah.
actually he played a role. He took us around. Yes. He took us around to the different mridanga shops. He did most of the work. Everything he did. And then when we were to take them to Delhi to be shipped, he was there again to help to load them into the vehicle. It's such an amazing Vaishnav, actually. And so when I spoke to him about giving class, I said, well, he will try. He wanted to give a seminar, so I think that's what we should be looking at for now. He wants to give us a seminar on the 7 purposes of ISKCON.
That would be interesting.
And I said, first, give us a class, then we'll go to the seminar.
Yeah.
So now that he has given the class, I think we have to schedule him for that seminar on the 7 purposes of ISKCON.
Okay.
So I will say thank you very much, Pitambara Prabhu. your presentation is just down to earth, and you encourage all of us to study more seriously so that we can represent Srila Prabhupada. So thank you. We'll let you go, but we'll fix a day for the seminar so that you can discuss the 7 purposes of just come with us and give us your realizations about it. So again, I say thank you very much for accepting to give the class. And you should not be surprised that we are going to invite you. We are going to invite you again and again to come to the platform and speak.
Yes.
Prabhu, I don't know, but I don't know, but how I feel very much comfortable with the devotees of Africa. I don't know why. Like I met Ganga Prasad Prabhu in MI, and we became like very, very intimate friends. And I met Shivas Prabhu, and I was very much impressed by Prabhuji's personality, his humbleness, and like his. I was very much impressed by Prabhuji's personalities, his humility, being a senior Vaishnav and a senior disciple of Srila Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, but still so humble, so approachable. Prabhuji helped me so much in preparing my exams also in Bhakti Vaibhav. So Prabhuji is very approachable, very easily approachable, a very sadhu kind of person. So I was very much impressed by Prabhuji's personality. So I feel very comfortable with my God brothers, my devotees in Africa. I don't know how. I have some connection, some previous connection maybe. So I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Pitambara Prabhu. And thank you so much, Shivas Prabhu, for opening up so many other things we didn't know about Pitambara Prabhu. So thank you. Ganga Prasad Prabhu, do you have something to say before he leaves? Shuman Varaha Prabhu, Ganga Prasad, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pitambara Prabhu is such a wonderful devotee, and he's very accessible. I enjoy my time with him in MI. And if you see my screen now, there's this book, activity book for children.
Yeah.
He compiled it. He's also doing translation of for BBT. He's translating books on BBT. So he compiled this, and he had given me this task that I should help circulate it in Africa.
Yeah.
I came back with some, and I'm giving it to the temple so that I can use it as a workbook for our children.
Yeah.
And the second edition of this is coming up. So as much as it's required,
Prabhu.
Yeah, he has soft copy also. He has soft copy and hard copy. So we can access him. He's an asset, very big asset. I feel proud to know him. I feel honored to know him, even though he has given many nicknames. But then I appreciate him. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for coming.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And keep up the spirit of the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Shuman Varaha, do you have something to say?
Okay, just to thank the Prabhu for his wonderful class and his achievements so far in devotional service. We are happy to have you here, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So, well, Prabhuji has performed a lot of tapasya. Staying up till this time is almost 11:40 his time. So at this point, we're going to ask all the devotees to unmute, and then we chant big Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation for Prabhu's presence here today. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Manchakapatavyacha Kripasindhubhyecha Patitanam Pavanambayo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. All glories to all the God brothers and God sisters from Africa. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.